welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, I'm Miri, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. First and foremost, I literally just got out of the shower, so I apologize for my hair being wet. I hope you don't mind. And secondly, you already know why we're here, of course, by the title of the video. And the only reason I'm actually trying out the ColouPop Pretty Fresh Foundation is because I absolutely love the ColouPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. It's one of my favorites whenever I really want my skin to look like my skin but better. This is what I reach for. I want to see if the foundation lives up to my expectations. Today's review is going to be a little bit different. I don't want it to be like every other review out there just because I want my review to stand out a tiny bit. You know, you can watch reviews and reviews and they just all seem the same. So I figured I would switch it up a little bit. At first I thought, why don't I go ahead and do a comparison between the tinted moisturizer and the foundation? But then I thought to myself, well, if people who are seeing this don't really like the tinted moisturizer, then they're not going to really care for them to be compared. So then I thought to myself, okay, how can I do it differently? I also have a couple of other items from the Pretty Fresh collection. I have two of the concealers and I also have the Pretty Fresh primer. All right, I'll do 2 days worth of wear test. The first one, I'll use other items from the Pretty Fresh line. And then on the other day, I'll go ahead and use my favorite combination of primers and concealers to see if it works with that. That was a really long intro. Sorry guys. I am working on my lighting. I feel like it's looking better today. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Okay, so without further ado, let's just get started already, right? Face is already good to go. I already did my morning skincare routine. And you guys already know that I always go in with the Wet n Wild primer water and then I set that down with translucent powder. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of primer water to get a little bit of moisture back in. Okay, and now we can go in with the primers. I have the Pretty Fresh Hydrating Primer by ColouPop, but I always combine it with a pore filling primer. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Putty Primer. This is only going to go in my T-zone. I only use it to hide my big ass pores. Although they have gotten better, but still, I just have to. All right, now I'm going to go in to the primer. And this is going to go pretty much everywhere else that I did not put the e.l.f. Putty Primer. I actually really do enjoy this primer, but I typically like to wear this hydrating primer underneath matte foundations. Just right now because it is summer and it's really hot out there. Now we're going to go in with the Pretty Fresh concealers, and I actually first got light 45W and this is way too light, so then I had to go in and get a darker one, medium 90W. So I usually mix these two. I usually put the lighter one right here, and right here. Darker one, I go in and I put this right here around my nose and around my nose. I let this sit for a couple of minutes before I start blending it out. I find that the coverage on any concealer when I do that is just a little bit better versus it just kind of disappearing, you know? All right, so now we're going to blend out this concealer. I use a Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH, what is this? JH08, that's what it looks like. In case you are wondering, I am normal type of skin, only get oily in my T-zone, and during the winter time I do have a little bit of dryness, but that's only because of the weather outside. But my skin is pretty normal. It's not oily nor is it dry. So if you have either or skin types, this review might not be what you want to hear. All right, that is nice and blended. So now to go into the foundation, I had to get medium 105N. When I went into Ulta, my perfect shade seemed to be medium 110N, and they didn't have that. They were all out. So I went to the 105N, and this one is actually just a tiny bit on like the pinky peachy side. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully this works. It might just look a little odd at the beginning, but it's okay. We're gonna make it work. I'm actually going to go in with a brush instead of a sponge, and the reason is because since it's a hydrating foundation, I feel that when you use a wet sponge with hydrating foundations, it kind of just adds more moisture to it. It could just be me. That's just what I have noticed. Everyone's different. So I'm going to be applying this with a brush. So I'm first going to add some to my finger. And like I said, guys, if the color doesn't match, it's okay. Do not be mean in the comments. I already know this is not my exact shade. It's sold out online, so it's not like I could have ordered it online. At least my shade is. Yeah, see, it's a little bit too dark. But I feel like it only looks too dark because of the pinky peachy undertone in it. I don't have that kind of undertone, you know? But it doesn't look too bad, I don't feel. What do you guys think? Like, it's a little darker, but not too bad, right? Like, this isn't too bad. I thought it was going to be really bad. That was only half a pump. Alright, this is what we have. Let's bring you in closer. So that's my skin. So I definitely feel like it looks pretty good. Coverage wise, I feel like it's a medium coverage. It's definitely a lot more coverage than the tinted moisturizer, and it's actually pretty light. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing much at all. Let's see inside of my nose. That's usually where I have the most issues, is around my nose. Alright, so this is what it looks like. I am definitely really liking it so far. Let me go ahead and put the rest of my face on, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, face is all nice and done. Let me bring you in close so that you can see what it looks like once I put everything on. I did set my face. Okay, I always set my face. I am not one of those girls that can wear foundation without setting it. So overall, I do think it looks pretty good. I definitely don't think this is a full coverage foundation. At least for me, in my eyes, I think it's a medium, and you can probably build it up to be full coverage, but right off the bat, I don't think it is. I did only use one pump, but that's honestly all I felt I needed. The foundation retails for $16, and the tinted moisturizer retails for $14. From what I read, they seem to do the same thing. The only difference is that this is a tinted moisturizer and this is a foundation. I did ended up setting my face with the Pretty Fresh setting mist. I love this. It is beautiful. The mist is amazing. Alright guys, this is me checking in natural lighting. So I don't know if you can see like the Pantone I'm talking about. I still think it looks pretty good. My nose is looking okay. Like I said, the coverage is not full coverage. Excuse my hair, by the way. It is definitely medium coverage. But all in all, I'm loving the finish. I definitely think it looks like my skin, but better. What do you think? I am recording with my phone, by the way. All right, I'll see you guys at the last check-in tonight. It is now 9:03 at night, and I totally forgot to tell you guys, I finished putting on the Pretty Fresh ColouPop Foundation right at 1 p.m. So it's about an 8-hour wear test. Now today I did go out for a walk when we went to the mill, and I also did do about 50 lunges and 10 push-ups. We've got this little challenge going on at the gym, and I've been doing 50 lunges and 10 push-ups every night. So I did perspire a little bit. I gotta say, I think it still looks pretty good. Let me bring you in closer. Okay, so as you can see, it looks pretty good. I mean, my actual blemishes are popping out, but they weren't covered really in the first place. My nose, it looks okay. It does look greasy, but that is very normal for my T-zone. Let me back you up. Okay, another day and another wear test. I am just going to make sure that I'm using more of mattifying product with the Pretty Fresh Foundation, since it is hydrating and it is summer, just to see if my end results for my last check-in of the day are any different. I am going to use the original Photo Finish Primer by Smashbox and the Porefessional for my T-zone, and I will be going in with Juvia's Place Concealer. I have two colors because this one's too light and this one's too dark, so I mix the two together. This one for me is more of a drying mattifying formula. At least for me, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Shape Tape, just better, not as drying. So I figured this would be a good choice. I'll make sure to use a matte setting spray to finish everything off. So let me get started. I also decided I'm going to put that foundation on first and then my concealer. I haven't been doing that, but I'll do it. I don't know, since the foundation is so dark, I feel like it's probably better if I do it that way. I will also be using a foundation brush today. Okay, this is what we have, and I definitely feel like putting on the concealer afterwards helped a little bit with the color. I still feel like I just look really tanned with this color because of that undertone that is not at all my undertone. Let me go ahead and finish up the rest of my face and I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is the face nice and finished. I did putting on the foundation completely at 12:45. It is now 1:25, so I'm just going to do a wear test for the rest of the day. I did finish off today with the L'Oreal Infallible. It's just a regular setting spray, but I definitely feel when I use this, it's more of a mattifying setting spray than like your dewy or hydrating look. That's why I chose to use this one. Let me get you just a tiny bit closer. Okay, so this is what she looks like. Beautiful. Definitely think it's a My Skin But Better foundation, so if you are a full coverage, you might not like this foundation. If you're looking for a foundation where you definitely want to look refreshed, I do feel like this would be a good choice. But yes, this is what the face looks like. You can still see some of my blemishes, which I am totally okay with. I don't mind. That's it. This is what the face looks like. I'm going to go film real quick on my phone with natural lighting. I'll just walk outside in my backyard real quick and take a quick little video, and then I'll be back for the last check-in of the day. Alright guys, this is check-in number 2 for natural day night with day number 2. Like I said, today I used more mattifying primers and also the setting spray is mattifying. I definitely feel it made a huge difference as far as the finish. It looks way more mattifying and not as hydrating as yesterday. I don't mind either finish. I like both. I'm okay with both, but that's just my preference. And I definitely feel like the finish of today I prefer than yesterday, and I'm enjoying this finish much better. What do you guys think? I think it looks pretty good. I still think it's a little too dark, but it's okay. We're making it work. All right, I'll see you at my last check-in. Alright guys, final check-in of the night for day 2 of the ColouPop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Foundation. Today we did end up eating, I guess it was our late lunch, early dinner outside while my daughter played in her small little kiddie pool. So I was out in the heat for probably 25 to 30 minutes. And then again, I did my 50 lunges and 10 push-ups, so I did perspire just a tiny bit. Same as yesterday. Let me bring you in close. So as you can see, like I have mentioned, the T-zone is always the worst area for me. I even went ahead and baked around my nose, like right here. As you can see, my nose is still pretty oily here, especially right here. But other than that, I do feel like the foundation still looks pretty good. Definitely looks like my skin, but better. So other than having to touch up my nose, definitely feel like this is a really good foundation. It's 9:05. 9:05 at night. Let me back you up. Okay. Oh, a little more. What are my final thoughts? My final thoughts are that ColouPop did a very good job with this foundation, and it definitely lived up to my expectations of the tinted moisturizer. I know there is literally mixed feelings about the tinted moisturizer, and not everybody loves it as much as I do. That's fine, to each their own. If you have normal skin or if you have dry skin, I definitely feel like you would really benefit from this. It is a great foundation. I feel like you can definitely make it full coverage, and it's only $16, which is pretty good for a foundation that is this beautiful. The other foundation that I can think of that is on the higher end spectrum that I love the way my skin just looks in it is the Fenty Hydrating Foundation. So I wouldn't say it's a dupe, but I definitely feel like I get the same vibes from this. Now, as far as yesterday and today, I definitely feel like, just because we're in summer, I preferred using mattifying primers and using a mattifying setting spray. Yesterday, even though I don't mind a glow, I feel like for summer it was too glowy, and it started looking too glowy pretty fast. I for sure, if it's summer and I'm using the Pretty Fresh Hydrating Foundation, I will definitely be making sure that I'm using a mattifying primer and a mattifying setting spray. In the winter, I am going to be using this a lot. Definitely recommend this product. I think it is a great foundation, super affordable. I love ColouPop. They come out with so many amazing things. Their shipping's a little if you order straight from ColouPop.com, shipping it's a pain in the butt. But the good thing is that Ulta does carry it, so that is a plus. Okay guys, I hope you love the fact that I gave you 2 different finishes. You know, one that was nice and hydrating, almost dewy but not really, and then one that was like a more on the mattifying side, just so you could see, you know, that it actually is a versatile foundation and it could be used both ways. Just because it's a hydrating foundation, it doesn't mean you have to use all hydrating products with it. I hope you guys loved that I switched it up just a tiny bit. Thank you so much guys for being here. I appreciate every single one of you guys. You have no idea. Please make sure to give this video a big ol' thumbs up, And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my small YouTube family. Make sure to also click that bell right after you hit the subscribe button. That way you get notified every single time I upload a video. Right now I am uploading on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!